For the moment, what we have is a deadlock.
It's a bit of a short story in France. I don't think markets would get overly stressed about France being at 100 basis points.
Political risk really thrust into kind of France in a spotlight.
It's nothing that we are not used to.
Compared to Germany, which seems to be a bit below the spread of 2024, but to swap we are above this level.
We have a playbook. We went through this last summer, and spreads went all the way to 80.
The ECB, I'm sure, will be ready to support France.
If the euros and the ECB is still in place, it will be difficult to make the system crack.
For France, we're talking about contraction. Full-year earnings expectation in CAC 40 is minus 10%. You don't buy cheap sectors, cheap countries, cheap regions where earnings are falling.
The market is already prepared to, a new government, even a new snap election. What we need is a majority, at least.
Well, let's bring in at this point Bloomberg's Julien Ponthus, who joins us out of Paris covering equities and the French equity space for us. Julien, what a week it's been then for French assets. The week that was, where do we stand this morning, Julien?
I think, as one of your guests said, we're pricing that Bayrou will fail and that he will lose the votes. But that's not a catastrophic scenario. That's more or less priced in. As you say, the gauge of risk is at 80. Investors, I think, are quite used to that level. I think French investors on, French equities on the CAC 40 have made their peace with the fact that they will underperform Frankfurt, Milan, and Madrid. These three countries, for their indexes, are up over 20% year to date. France is at roughly 5%. So that's where we're at. You could say there could be possibly a good surprise next week if ever Bayrou managed to pull something through. But when you look at betting markets, betting websites, you're over 90%. Like, no one is thinking he has a chance, even though he still claims he does. He did so yesterday. But I mean, honestly, there's no way. In fact, it's really hard to see a way for him to pull it through.
Okay, that window, if there is one, and that gap is narrowing rapidly, it seems, or has already narrowed. And he continues his outreach to domestic voters in France, trying to make the case for his domestic agenda and the tax rises and spending cuts that he is proposing. Given that assessment, then, Julien, what are you and the team kind of bracing for next week when it comes to the markets?
I don't really, no one really sees, it's not me, but no one really sees him pulling it through. The far right and the far left want new elections. Basically, no one seems ready to help him. You do the math, you look at the difficult parties, how every lawmaker could move. I don't see it going through. Then, what does Macron do? He could reappoint him. Seems unlikely. He could find another center-left, center-right politician to do exactly the same thing as Barnier and Bayrou, who both failed. Or he could call new elections as well. That's what we're basically bracing for, because if there's a new snap election, then the game could really change for France.